Guys, this is how you get her attention. Hi, hello, it's Ann. Ladies, let me know if I'm wrong. Guys, pay attention. Let's go. 1, we're gonna start with the very obvious, look good and smell good. 2, if you see her by herself and you feel like this is the perfect time for you to just go up to her and talk to her and you don't know what to say, literally just be like, hey, are you good? It's a very simple way to give her comfort and for you to show that you care. And 3, if you guys are having a conversation, ask her questions about herself. The more excited you seem to get to know her, the more she's gonna want to talk to you and get to know you too.
I had a huge reality check when it came to dating recently. End of last year, I was talking to this guy who was a great guy, like all around, hands down, gentleman, never tried me. Perfect guy. Perfect catch, really. Caveat is that he never texted me. Personally, I'm used to a lot of guys like just texting me consistently on a regular basis, and he just wasn't doing that, but he would call and actually make plans with me. And I was thinking, damn, I really want someone who's gonna be more consistent with me and sure about me. So I asked, and the universe delivered. A love bomber. Someone who was super consistent with me every single day, had texted me good morning, checked in on me, like it was a constant text stream 24/7. Problem is, he was also love bombing me. I really had to take a deep look inside and figure out what it is that I'm looking for. And I came to the realization that if I'm just meeting someone, why would I think that it would be okay to have access to them 24/7? You don't know me. And what is it triggering inside of me that I feel like I need that person's attention at all times? A lot of you are gonna come for me on this, but hear me out. A high quality man is probably going to be pretty busy working on the things that are important to him. What inside of you thinks that you should have access to him 24/7 in the very beginning? Maybe when the relationship progresses, yes. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, we always have our phone in our hand. It takes 2 seconds. I get it. But hear me out. That same person that's texting you on a continuous basis nonstop is looking for this thrill, this chase, and they're probably texting multiple people at once. The thing with this is that that thrill and that chase always burns out. A man who actually has a purpose in life doesn't have that much time to be giving out in the very beginning. Short story long, go for the slow burn, not the guy that is going to be obsessed with you in the very beginning, because I promise you he is probably loved.
But what if he doesn't text me back? Is he simply not interested? When I saw him the other day, he seemed like he was interested in me, but he rarely texts me. Let's talk about it. That is my thing. So I'm going to be sharing this perspective from the other side. When me and my husband first met, I rarely texted my husband. And I didn't do it because I was playing games. I did it because I'm not a big texter. And I always have my schedule full, and it was very hard for him to understand in the beginning. He actually was thrown off a little bit by it. Because his mindset, like many other people's mindset in the beginning stages of dating, was, well, if she's not texting me, she's texting someone else, or vice versa. If he's not texting me, he's texting someone else. But here's the thing, not always. At that point in my life when I met my husband, I was a whole person. And I knew that if things were going to work out, they were going to work out. So texting really wasn't that important to me. But to him, it was a huge deal. And here's the thing that we need to understand. When you text too much, you're going to start creating and idealizing a person in your head. Mainly because there could be a lot of miscommunication. But also, you don't want someone to get to know you through a text message. Let them get to know you in person. And I had to explain that to my husband the first couple of weeks when we were dating. I told him that I was completely interested, but I just wasn't a big texter. I prefer seeing him in person. And once we established that boundary and once he understood, we honestly would rarely text. He would text me to ask me when I was available for a date or whatever to the next time we would see each other, but that was it. So don't get scared whenever he's not texting you right away, because I was that person. And look at us now.
Want to know how to make her always think of you? Well, you came to the right place. This is Gentlemen and Scholars, where we discuss dating style and personal development. So, if you're into becoming a better version of yourself, definitely make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So for today's topic, we're going over the 10 ways to make her always think about you. So for tip number 1, this is going to be to not be so predictable. So women love variety. They love when you keep them guessing. They love a hint of mystery. So when you guys become just predictable and just really boring and fall into these patterns, it does the opposite effect that you're looking for. It doesn't attract them, it actually causes them to lose attraction for you. So to be more specific and to give real life examples, you don't want to be setting dates and letting her know all the details of the date. So in other words, you don't have to tell her the date location. You want to give her a time, you want to give her a day, of course, but you don't have to tell the date location. You can just come pick her up from her house and take her to the date. When it comes to texting, you don't want to be that guy that's texting her back every 5 or every 3 minutes and just really hawking her. It's going to be indicative of the fact that you don't have much going on, and this will definitely show to her over time, and it just gets boring. So definitely take your time with this. If you're a guy that doesn't have too much going on, maybe you're in school and just have a lot of free time on your hands right now, a good rule of thumb is to multiply her response time by 2. So, if she takes 15 minutes to text back, you take 30 minutes to text back. She takes 2 hours, so on and so forth. But, really the idea here is to get to the place where you have things going on in your life, compelling things going on, and, be working towards your mission and purpose to where you're already busy and, you're not dropping what you're doing to text her back or to call her back. You'll get to those things once you have a minute. And oddly enough, this will cause her to be way more attracted to you. And lastly, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have surprises set up. So, when you do plan that date and, you're picking out the location, make sure it's somewhere that's fun. Make sure that you have little surprises set up during the course of the date. Maybe it's not just one place you go to, maybe you guys end up going to 2 different places that are kind of close by to each other. Planning little surprises here and there is gonna make things less boring and add variety to the whole courtship process. So definitely make sure that you're doing this. She will eat this up. So for tip number 2, to make her always think about you, that is going to be a really good listener. So the idea here is to ask her questions that she will enjoy answering. And when she does answer the question, you're going to want to pay close attention to what she says and her response, because she might not test you right then and there, but somewhere down the line she'll be paying attention to see if you're actually listening to what she's saying. So you're going to want to be talking a lot less, and you're going to want to be doing 20% of the talking while she's doing the other 80. And take a genuine interest in what she's saying, take a genuine interest in her. Ask her compelling questions, not boring, dry questions that really require no thought. Actually take an interest in what she's saying, and trust me, she'll eat this up. Even if she's one of those girls that might be a little shy, might be a little closed off. Trust me, once you ask her good enough questions and you show that you actually do care, usually what ends up happening is she ends up blurting out a whole stream of ideas, a whole stream of thoughts, and it'll get to the point where you can't get her to stop talking. So for tip number 3, that is going to be to not be a pleaser. Do not be one of those guys that agrees with every single thing that she says. This is extremely unattractive because it causes a woman to not trust you, because you're agreeing with everything that she says. You're not really showing any areas where you two may not agree. And really this is unnatural because typically there are things that people don't agree on, but there's nothing wrong with this. It really is in the way that you present. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to join the Gentlemen and Scholars family, and consider checking out the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for free resources, Gentlemen and Scholars merch, book recommendations, consultation services, and our free Gentlemen and Scholars Ultimate Handbook, where you'll learn personal development tips on how to build a successful life and become the gentleman of your dreams, style tips to develop an eye-catching, attractive, and unique personal avatar, and dating tips to attract, court, and keep the woman of your dreams. Visit the Gentlemen and Scholars Club website for more. Now back to the video. So in other words, you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be disrespectful about it, but you're not gonna wanna agree with everything she says, because it gives off the vibe that you're just doing this just to get in her pants. And this will not cause her to be attracted to you. You'll just look like every other guy that's been thirsting after her, particularly if she's a really good looking girl. Another thing, you're not gonna wanna go way out of your way, particularly early on when you just started dating a woman. This puts her on a pedestal that she just doesn't deserve yet. So don't do this. You wanna make her earn this type of treatment. So for tip number 4, to make her think of you always, that is going to be unavailable at times. Guys, you're gonna wanna have a life. You're gonna want to fill up your schedule with fun things, compelling things, you know, hanging out with friends, doing things that will push you further towards your mission and your purpose. You're going to want to fill up your life with these things because this is going to, you know, fill up your schedule and, you know, move you in the right direction, but it's also going to be attractive to the woman as well because, you know, you're not dropping everything to give her all of your attention. So don't be that guy, and trust me, I know a lot of these guys that will cancel their plans with friends and, you know, just drop everything to go and be with a woman. It is highly unattractive, and trust me, it will not get you what you want in the end. So for tip number 5, that is going to be that you want to be mysterious. So guys, don't spill out everything that you're thinking. You're going to want to make her work for information. You're going to want to make her dig and learn things over time. But sometimes you're confronted with situations where, you know, she may have said something and it kind of stumped you. You know, maybe you don't know how to respond to a particular situation right there in the moment. Guys, when in doubt, just maintain eye contact and maintain a neutral smile and don't say anything. You know, just hold this frame and, you know, especially if you're stumped and something kind of threw you for a loop, just don't let it show on your face, and she won't know what you're thinking, but this is definitely a useful tip for you guys. And in terms of staying mysterious, you're gonna wanna avoid boring patterns. You know, again, don't be texting her in the same pattern. Don't be going to the same places when you guys do go out. If you went out a couple times this week, maybe you only go out one time next week. Just add variety, add a hint of spontaneity, and this will definitely cause her to, you know, not know what to expect from you, but she'll know that she'll have a good time. And that's what you want. You want her to have good feelings about being around you and spending time with you and not really knowing what to expect. So for tip number 6, that is going to be actively vetting her. So of course you're not going to want to come right out and say this to her that you're actively vetting her, but it should come across in the questions that you ask, in the way that you ask them. So something that I've done in the past is, you know, if we're out on the date and, you know, particularly if it's early on and she says something to me, you know, I might say, hey, I'll make a mental note of that. And it's just a little joke, but it shows that, you know, I actively am listening to what she's saying and I am vetting her. It shows that you're paying attention, and it also shows that you're selective about the people that you allow into your life, which is very attractive. So number 7 on the list, you know, we mentioned this several times, but it's worth restating because it's so important. That is going to be on your mission and purpose. And this is especially important because, you know, when you do link up with her, when you guys do go out, it's going to make for exciting conversation because you have something that you're fired up about and, you know, you can't wait to talk to her about, and it's going to show in the conversation. And really, women want to know that, you know, you have something that you're excited about. It really doesn't matter what that thing is, but as long as you have something that you're working towards, you know, whether it be a business idea, whether it be, you know, a really compelling hobby that you maybe want to turn into a business, whatever the case may be, if you have that and, you know, something that's important to you, she'll be excited that you have that. And she'll be excited that you have a clear idea of what it is that you want to do, and, you know, you're clear on the person that you want to become. And this is especially attractive when she sees that you're actively making progress towards that goal. So tip number 8, that is going to be to give her space when she needs it. So if a woman asks for space, becomes elusive, or takes a long time to text back, don't chase her. In fact, you should do the opposite and pull back a little and recognize that she will come back to you when and if she misses you. And sometimes this could take a week or two. So don't worry, don't get alarmed, give her space when she needs it. So for tip number 9, to make her think of you always, that is going to be to not be so serious. So be playful, don't take yourself too seriously, but don't be a clown though. Playfully make fun of her, but, you know, not in a harsh way. Do it in a way where she knows that you still care. And lastly, for tip number 10, that is going to be confident. So gents, the truth is that this is something that you can't fake, and women can really see right through you if you're somebody that's not confident. So you're going to want to be constantly working on your insecurities. And shameless plug, I did write a book. It's called The Gentleman and Scholar's Ultimate Handbook that goes over some of the little known things that could be impacting your life that are contributing to your insecurities. So, if you're struggling with your confidence, if you're struggling in dating and just want to tighten your game, or if you're struggling with your style, or if you just want to 10x your personal development, I highly encourage you to check out the Gentleman and Scholar's Ultimate Handbook that you can get for free, the ebook version, on the Gentleman and Scholars Club website. All you have to do is go to gentlemanandscholarsclub.com, enter your name, enter your email, and you'll get it downloaded right then and there. So I'll highly encourage you gents to check that out. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. If you do have any questions for me, definitely feel free to give a shout, definitely make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and definitely let us know down below. Were there any tips that were missed? Do you have a girl that's currently crazy about you? We would love to know, so definitely let us know in the comment section down below. But until next time, gentlemen and scholars. Hey gents, hope you enjoyed the video. And check out the Gentleman and Scholars Club website for our free Gentleman and Scholars Ultimate Handbook, free resources, book recommendations, consultation services, and some pretty slick Gentleman and Scholars merch. GNS hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, notebooks, and so much more. Until next time, gentlemen and scholars. Hey gents, if you enjoyed this video, check out some bespoke video recommendations here and here. And subscribe to join the Gentleman and Scholars Club.